Oh, they got some talent over there.
For the ballistics, naturally I'm going to take my favorite chassis and shoot people with my two Ultra 10s.
Wrecked when you see the pilots on the other side. Holy cow.
All systems.
The problem was, though, or part of the problem for this match, was that I was a little bit punch drunk at this point. You know, just playing match after match and getting kind of silly. So, you know, I'm saying here that we should murder ball up, so, you know, basically stick together, move as a group, because we're in skirmish mode.
So let us know where we're going.
And then we have I think it's Commando, who says, I'm going to go scout, nobody follow me. And naturally, I just decided to go follow the Commando, for a little bit anyway.
And I shouldn't be. One mech should be going with me, and that should be like a flea or a raven.
My mech is very fast for an assault mech, but in, you know, in comparison to a Commando, I'm a snail. The thing is, though, our other assault mechs, you see, you know, Atlases and the Fafnir, they're probably moving around 50 kilometers per hour. So it's going to be easy enough for me to swing out and then just meet up with them again on the other side of the hill here. The only problem with doing this, even just, you know, kind of joking around, is that I did leave myself open to a light, or worse yet, a pack of lights. Granted, this mech is fairly good at dealing with them thanks to arm-mounted pulse lasers. It means that, you know, I've got good speed and tracking and a range of motion with those pulse lasers, so I can kind of handle them. But I would say, really, if a couple of lights had found me in that position, I'd have been pretty screwed.
Bravo is a stalker.
New target.
And here you're already seeing my biggest mistake for this match. These Ultra 10s have a 540 meter optimal range. And I'm trying to shoot people who are, you know, well outside of that range. And even after I close in, I still try and shoot people who are at like 800 meters. Which means that I'm losing a lot of damage from my Ultra 10s.
Push while they're distracted. Never mind, I'm down and gone.
The thing is, I'm very, very bad at this particular map. When people pick this map, it usually tends to be domination, and this little valley right in front of me is where the domination point is located when we're in that when we're in that mode. So I don't know if it's because of that habit or if it's maybe just because of the way that the spawn points work out. But for whatever reason, we wound up in this valley that I hate so much on this map, because it's just kind of impossible to push through. You know, really you need to kind of, I think anyway, sit back and set up some kind of firing line and let them come to you.
You're really out there.
You can see that, you know, they have their firing line set up, and we're poking out one or two at a time.
He's telling the missiles where to go.
And then their whatever that is, I think it's a flea or something, is being smart and scouting for them. You know, guiding their missiles and just giving them an idea of who's moving in. So that person is playing really well. We do an okay job, actually, of moving up together. You know, we've got these Atlases and myself and a Warhawk all pushing in. It's just that our assault mechs tend to overextend repeatedly.
Is anybody doing anything about this?
So the Warhawk, you know, just walks up and, you know, decides to face tank the entire team at once with no help.
Calling in artillery and airstrikes on your assault lance.
And we still don't have anyone dealing with their scout up there on the mountain.
New
All right,
target
your
acquired.
team's pushing, I guess.
So to his credit, that Warhawk actually survived quite a while, and had the rest of us pushed in with them, I think we would have done all right. Their firing line actually breaks fairly easily when we do push them. It's just that we never push them as a unit. You know, I mean, this Atlas is just walking in, you know, just absolutely refusing to back down. So I'm trying to provide support fire, but the thing is, I know that since he was the only other one moving in, there was absolutely no way that push was going to work. So that's why I hung back and just kind of kept, you know, laying down fire, but not really committing to a push.
New target
isolated at this point, I think.
No, there's still it's still anybody's game.
New target acquired.
Just you guys need to group together. Don't get spread out. Stay together and focus your fire.
Stay together and go where?
It doesn't matter where.
Well, you gotta say something so everybody knows where to go.
Oh, well, they're all over at Kilo 8. Just look at your radar at the bottom of your screen.
Now here we're definitely down in numbers, and so this match is pretty well decided at this point. Again, we have another Atlas who overextends. This one didn't really push in, but he just, I don't know why he swung out so wide.
See, he bounced back towards you now. That assault would have been better.
Target spotted.
Well, you hit him. You took his leg off. He's useless.
New target acquired. Ultra autocannon ammo at 25%.
At this point, I really hadn't even processed just how many times I had fired my autocannons until I heard that warning about 25% ammo, which is a warning that, frankly, I almost never get. I could probably drop a ton of autocannon ammo and not even notice it in just about any match. Thing is, with this particular build, I don't necessarily feel like I need anything else, so I just like to have the extra ammo. I could throw it in a heat sink or something, though, I guess. Maybe a... honestly, I can't remember if this has a targeting computer. I'll have to check out the build myself, but here is pretty much the end of the match for me. So my mech has been doing its job so far, and now I'm torn up everywhere, just like this mech tends to be. So I'm like, well, alright, this King Crab is also very torn up. I'm going to take him out also. And I've got 2 autocannon 10s, Ultra 10s, so that's going to be no problem. Then they blow off my right torso. But I still barely did it. With just 2 medium pulse lasers, I took out their crab right as I was killed. So that's why I did my little emote in chat. I was excited about that. Because it had been such a crap match, you know, that I was excited to have been able to do that.
New target
top of the ridge, right there.
And here we have a Fafnir that had just kind of wandered off around the mountain earlier. And so that's why he's relatively fresh and still able to deal some damage. Which, given the way this match went, is not really consequential. But in a more serious match, that would have been a big problem. This, you know, this guy has ECM and, you know, very serious firepower. They really should have been with the rest of the team.
Good fight. 12-5. We gave him a showing.
But here we go. I only got the 1 kill, my crab kill, but I was very excited that I dealt tons of damage and also soaked up a lot of damage. 800 dealt and taken. Very, very happy with that result. You know, if you compare it to anyone from either team, you know, I handily outscored people, and it was just because I got to just lay down ballistic fire again and again and again, which is exactly why I brought this mech, to farm that ballistic score for the event.